The person that I know in person who I've ever seen jump the highest never lifted any weights. Ladies and gentlemen of the Action Army, what is going on? And welcome to another episode of Answers for Athletes. In today's video, I'm going to talk about how to jump as high as possible without lifting any weights. Maybe you don't want to lift weights, maybe you don't have access to weights, but this video is brought to you by the question from Van Dave 1517, who says, can you jump as high as you can by solely doing plyometrics without weight training? I want to at least grab the rim. Hell, I would jump in joy if I ever could just touch the rim with my fingertips. So I'm going to give you 5 tips today, 5 pieces of advice to jump as high as you possibly can without lifting weights. In the first piece of advice, which this is a bonus, this is not one of the 5, the first piece of advice is to comment JUMP, J-U-M-P, down below in the comment section of this video, and I will send you a free body weight vertical jump training program. That is going to be huge for you. It's completely free. It's 5 months long, 5 phases long. You have an option to add resistance bands and dumbbells. That is going to be your savior when dunking a basketball or jumping as high as possible without access to weights. So comment JUMP below. But all right, let's get into the 5 tips that I want to give you for this video. And to answer your question, is it possible to jump very quickly? Is it possible to jump as high as possible without lifting weights? The answer is no. You will not maximize your potential without doing any strength training or without lifting any weights. And this is why. And I don't want to discourage you because you can get very, very, very high. You can get to, depending on your genetics, you can get to above a 40-inch vertical jump without lifting any weights. And the person that I know in person who I've ever seen jump the highest never lifted any weights. This dude could touch almost the top of the backboard. He was 6'1", same height as me. And I asked him, do you work out? Do you do any training? And he said, nah, bro, I just hoop. So let that be your inspiration. However, to quickly answer the question, no, you cannot maximize your vertical jump without doing some form of strength training. And this is why. Vertical jump is nothing more than a test of power. Power equals force times velocity. To improve your velocity, you need to do your jumping, your plyometrics, your sprints. To improve your force production, your ability to produce force the most, you need to take your muscles through a given range of motion against resistance. And you can add resistance by using a backpack with books in it. You can do certain exercises with body weight that take you into deeper ranges of motion, improve your strength and your ability to produce force that way. But eventually, once you maximize and you cap out your body weight or your book full of your backpack full of books, you're going to need to use weights. That is why weights exist. Weights exist because you need to add more resistance than just using your body weight in order to improve your muscle size, your strength, your ability to produce force, etc., etc. So that is the caveat. No, you cannot maximize your vertical jump, but you can get really fucking high. Let's get into the 5 tips. Tip number 1 is that you need to realize that the best way to improve your vertical jump isn't lifting weights. For some people, it might be if you've been playing basketball a lot and you've never done strength training before, then lifting weights might really take you to that next level. But the best way to jump higher is to jump. The best way is plyometrics, jumping, sprints, bounding, hops, depth jumps, the plyometrics, but you must progressive overload those plyometrics. You must be trying to jump higher and higher and higher each time. You must force your body to adapt and force your body to change to increase your vertical jump. So that is tip number 1. Realize that the best way to jump higher is to jump. The best way to jump higher is not to squat. The best way to jump higher is to fire the actual skill and motor pattern of jumping. That's tip number 1. So you're on the right track. First thing you need to do is jumping and plyometrics and progressive overload those plyometrics. The second thing is that I already gave you this tip, but the second thing is that you need to realize that there are objects in your house, let's say you're working out at home, that you can use to add resistance and take your muscles through a range of motion with added resistance, such as a backpack, which in my free bodyweight program, I give you all the exercises you need to do, all the sets, all the reps, all the workouts, and I give you examples of the exercise demonstrations if you only have body weight. If you do have a backpack that you can fill with something heavy like books or fuck it, rocks. Put some fucking rocks in an old backpack and put that on. Or whatever you're going to do. If you have dumbbells, if you have resistance bands, that program will take you through everything that you need to know. But that is tip number 2. Realize that you can hold something in your house. You have some sort of object. You can get creative. And you can hold something like a backpack to add resistance and take your muscles through a range of motion with more resistance than just your body weight. That is number 2. Number 3 is I want you to get really good at pistol squats. Why? Because pistol squats are a single leg exercise that is pretty hard. I can't think of a harder body weight exercise than a pistol squat. Now, you can do all this weird shit that you see on TikTok, but as far as like an actual exercise, what I want you to do is do all your plyometrics, and then at the end of your plyometric workout, you're going to do 4 sets of pistol squats, and you're going to start with your weaker leg first, and you're going to go to failure. Take your weak leg to failure. And if you can't do a pistol squat, you can elevate your heel on a book, and that will, take the limiting factor of your ankle mobility out of it. You can hold a backpack in front of you to help counterbalance your weight. You can stand on something if you don't have the range of motion or the mobility to do a pistol squat. There's a lot of ways to do pistol squats. Don't just say, I can't do a pistol squat. Don't be a little bitch. I'm sorry. Find a path to yes. Don't find a path to no. Everybody wants to have a fucking reason as to why they can't do some shit. And I know there's some people watching it. I can't do pistol squats. My mobility's not good enough, or my strength is not good enough. Work up to it, bro. Start with a single leg chair stand, or counterbalance your weight, or stand on something, or elevate your heel. Don't be one of them motherfuckers who just says, I can't do this, and just finds all these fucking reasons as to why you can't do shit. So that's number 3. Get really good at pistol squats. Take your weak leg to failure and then match those same amount of reps with your strong leg. And if you get to the point where you're doing all these plyos and you can do 20 reps of pistol squats in a row, I'm telling you, you're going to jump high as fuck. Number 4, you need to lock in on deep range of motion plyometrics. Deep range of motion plyometrics. So the plyos that I named that are the best plyometrics to increase your vertical jump, which are jumps, high object touches, dunks, single leg hopping, depth jumps, drop jumps, sprints. These are all at the top ranges of motion. You're not doing deep knee flexion with all of these plyometrics. So one little cheat code to improve your ability to produce force as well as your ability to produce force quickly is to do deep range of motion plyometrics. And by that, just think about a squat. Can you squat more weight when you do a deep squat or a quarter squat? You can squat more weight when you do a quarter squat because the range of motion is less. So if you want to improve your strength more, you're going to need to go deeper when you do your plyometrics. So deep lunge jumps or deep squat jumps or drock jumps, drock box jumps. Deep range of motion plyometrics are going to be great for you because it is harder to do the plyometrics when you are deeper in those range of motions with deeper knee flexion. And by doing the larger range of motion in the harder parts of the range of motion, deep in those knee angles, you're going to improve your ability to produce force more and improve your strength more. And you could do that with just body weight. Number 5, if you can't lift weights, I need you to lock in, and this is no matter who you are, but especially if you can't lift weights, I need you to lock in on everything else that is important to increase your vertical jump. And what I mean by that is that I need you to lock in on your nutrition and stop eating bullshit, right? Mostly whole foods. I need you to lock in on the amount of calories that you are eating. If you're eating an excess amount of calories and you're overweight, realize that excess body fat and excess adipose tissue doesn't do shit for you. If you're 20 pounds overweight, just use this analogy. Put on a 20-pound weight vest and try to jump higher. Try to dunk a basketball with a 20-pound weight vest on. It's going to be a lot harder than if you take that 20-pound weight vest off. It's the same shit with body fat. 20 pounds of body fat, it's going to be much harder than if you don't have that 20 pounds or 10 pounds or even 5 pounds of body fat. So your nutrition needs to be in check. If you're eating an excess amount of calories and you're fat, you're not going to jump high. If you're eating not enough calories and you're not fueling your body for your workouts and your activity, you're not going to jump high, because basketball players need carbohydrates. Don't just go cut out carbs and not give yourself enough calories in general. Protein is going to be very important. I need you to get at least 0.75 grams of protein per pound of body weight. You don't need to go all the way up to 1 gram of protein per pound of body weight. That's a little overkill. But you need to be getting an adequate amount of protein to build strength, to build muscle, to build power, and to recover from all your workouts and all of your activity. So lock in on your nutrition, lock in on your protein, lock in on your sleep. Stop watching Pornhub, you motherfuckers. Stop watching TikTok before you go to sleep, you motherfuckers. Stop watching Instagram reels. Stop watching my YouTube videos before you go to sleep. If you're watching my YouTube video and it's an hour before you go to bed, I'm pissed at you right now. Shut this shit off. Go the fuck to sleep. Sleep is important. Screens before bed, I'll just say an hour before bed. And fuck blue light blocking glasses too. I'm sorry, guys. I'm in a mood. Fuck everything today. I don't know what. Actually, I do know. I was frustrated this morning with a bunch of shit that had to do with my business. And I just couldn't. You wouldn't know what fucking pissed me off? This is so simple, but it was pissing me off. When you Google my name, Nathanael Morton, my website comes up, nathanaelmorton.com. And I can't figure out how to change that little fucking profile picture next to my name. It's just a blue map. It's not me. It's not my programs. It's not shit. And I couldn't figure out how to, in fucking 2 hours, I tried to fix that shit and I still didn't get it. And I don't know why, but that pissed me off. It was a waste of time. Today's Sunday. All I wanted to do was fucking lay around and watch football. And I'm out here doing bullshit like that. Anyways, what the fuck was I talking about? That's why I'm in a mood. But back to my point. Fuck everything that doesn't matter. Make sure you lock in on your sleep. Fuck blue light blocking glasses. That's where I was. Blue light blocking glasses, they work a little bit. I have glasses that are blue light blocking glasses. I still do not look at screens an hour before bed. What are you fucking looking at? This video is going in a wild direction, but I don't fucking care. What are you looking at right before bed? If you're looking at TikTok, what the fuck are you doing? If you're actually doing something productive and it's an hour before bed, I'm telling you, don't do that shit either. Instead, do some mobility, do some meditation, read a book, do something like that. Do not look at screens, iPads, iPhones, laptops, TVs. Stop fucking watching Netflix. If you want to be the best, stop bullshitting. All right, I'm going to relax on that one. Your sleep. So we're not looking at screens. No caffeine after 12 o'clock noon, because caffeine has a half-life of 6 hours. So if you drink 200 milligrams of caffeine at 2 p.m., there's still 100 milligrams circulating through your system at 8 p.m. Just don't do it after 12 p.m. Noon. No caffeine after noon. I would say tape your mouth shut, but a bunch of motherfuckers are going to come up with excuses about why they can't do that. But if you don't have a blockage in your nose that you haven't taken care of yet, and you can breathe through your nose, and you're not afraid to fucking die by taping your mouth shut, which I'm scared I'm going to die. I'm in a mood today. I don't know, guys. Tape your mouth shut. I'm not going to talk more about that. I did a whole video on that. Don't eat directly before bed unless you need to. If you get home from a late night game, and this is why. When you go to sleep, you don't want to be digesting food. You want your body to be focused on the functions of sleeping. If you eat a big steak dinner or something with a lot of fats or hard to digest proteins that digest very slowly before you go to bed, then you will get less optimal sleep. I promise you that. Stop using an alarm to wake up. Man, the amount of excuses that are popping into your head right now is fucking insane. From a lot of shit that I've said. I can't take my mouth shut. I can't do this. I can't do that. I can't not use an alarm, bro. I got school. I got work. I'm telling you, I was a teacher for 5 years. I never used a damn alarm, and I woke up every day at fucking 4 a.m. and I went to the gym and I got gains. You might have to go to bed a little bit earlier. However, I will say that if you have a late game or you have a late night where you have a priority that night, you set an alarm just in case and then try to beat it, right? If you have a late night game, like sometimes I do or sometimes my athletes do, and then you have to get up for school or for work, set an alarm, try to beat it. But at some points, you're going to have to set an alarm. I understand that. All right, so we got locking on your nutrition, locking on your protein, locking on your sleep. This next one applies to me. I need this next one. Lock in on your stress levels, because I'm fucking stressed right now. And I don't even know why. None of this shit really matters. I'm not that stressed, but I'm definitely on edge a little bit. Stress is a killer of gains. If you're stressed from your job or from school or from a girl or from a previous performance, or if you're stressed from anything, I'm telling you, stress is a killer of gains. So you need to lock in on your meditation and your visualization and your deep breathing. I'm telling you, if you lay down and you focus on your breathing and you breathe in and out through your nose and you do some belly breathing, and then you start to visualize your goals and how you're going to achieve your goals, and you do that for 10 or 20 minutes, I'm telling you, you're going to wake up. You're not going to be stressed anymore. You're going to be ready to fucking put your head through a wall in a good way. Anyways, that is it, guys. I'm sorry I fucking went way out in left field. I pointed to right field. I'm sorry I went way out in left field at the end of this video, but this is how you improve your vertical jump if you don't have access to weights. Don't be a bitch. Stop bullshitting. Find a path to yes. Figure out how to get that shit done, and comment jump for my free bodyweight vertical jump training program. If you don't comment jump, or even worse, if you comment jump and I send you my free program and then you don't do that shit because you're one of these motherfuckers who wants to say you're about it, but you're not really about it. You can tell everybody, yeah, I want to go to the NBA. I want to go D1 in college. I want to do this. I want to work out. I want to dunk a basketball. But then when it comes time to be disciplined and you wake up and you're tired in the morning and you snooze that alarm that you shouldn't set in the fucking first place, then I got nothing to say to you. If you ain't willing to do what it takes, then move out of the way, because there's somebody watching this video that is willing to do what it takes. Love you all. Comment jump for that free program. Leave your questions down below if you want me to answer a question in a video just like this. And I will see you tomorrow at 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Peace.